I made my record. There are no differences in lyrics. The prosecution introduced lyrics out of context on redirect under the rule of completeness and under truthfulness to this jury. I would like to do what you already ruled and play the song. And I don't even understand how we're at 24-6-613, prior consistent statement. That's not even close. I mean, we're talking about, you're saying, okay, it's snowing, and we're talking about, well, let's go, so since it's snowing, let's get our pails and shovels and dig up the sand. I mean, this is crazy, their argument. So I didn't bring this up.
Okay,
no intention of playing it.
Mr. Steele, I do understand that. I really do. But
I just want to play the song.
But you can't at this point in time.
Yes, I can. It was brought up with this.
Okay, but you know what? It's still inadmissible at this point. It's not admissible at this point. I would agree with the state under 801, 24-8-801 A through C. 802 and 613.
At some point, the confrontation clause has to speak in this courtroom. The state of Georgia asked and leveled lyrics words made by Mr. Williams. I want to put those words in proper.
Okay, but you won't be able to do it through him. It's objectionable.
Right person.
It's objectionable at this point in time. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not, like I told you before. It's not that it may not be objectionable at this point, but if evidence comes in for different reasons, Mr. Steele, at this point in time, it's just not coming in. I'm not saying that it won't come in at some point in time.
This court is handcuffing the Constitution. Then I move to strike everything said by Mr. Stevens in its entirety, because I can't confront him. You have the awesome power to control these proceedings. But the state of Georgia, wide open that door. I didn't mention anything.
Okay, but that does not make the evidence any less inadmissible. It doesn't.
They took words out of context, and I want to put the words in its entirety the way they are. You should be able to let me see the road to do that, Your Honor.
I just can't let you do it right now, Mr. Steele. It's because the state's objected to it, and I agree with them under 801. A through C.
But they're wrong. Mr. Carlson has no clue what he's talking about. He's wrong. He wasn't here. And just to throw around a name because he wrote a book, this is not applicable. Your Honor, the state of Georgia said this is what Mr. Williams said. I'm saying actually what he said was this, and I'm putting in the completion of the story. You know what this song is about? It's about coming from nothing. It's about telling your kids, not that you're riding around with a body, it's about telling your kids, if you live under the circumstances that a gentleman like Mr. Williams did, you may have to kill somebody because they're going to kill you. It's self-defense. The state of Georgia wrapped all that up in little lyrics and misconstrued what they are. I have every right, I need to put this in. And it's not good enough to say later, Judge, this trial, I have no clue, I've never been in a case like this. This trial may go on till Super Bowl next year. I don't want to do it in 7 months. It is right now, and I should have the authority to do it, Your Honor. You know, I'm doing everything that I know to be upfront. I give everything I don't have to give. I give everybody a heads up, and it gets spun around. I get to play this song, the song I want to play, and I ask you not to keep doing this and listening. Once you rule, it's coming in, which one? The state was saying before lunch, I'm somehow changing the lyrics. The lyrics don't change, I tell you that. Now it's all of a sudden another reason. Your Honor, you have ruled, I use your ruling, I embrace them, and I am correct. There has to be a point that we have traction here too. It is a two-way street.
Well, remember, Mr. Steele, I can always, one of the things about being a trial judge is you can reverse your rulings. And also, here's the other thing as well. You all as a group, kind of release or give me snapshots at any given point in time. And I make a ruling on it. then more comes out. And I sometimes at that point when I get a full picture of everything, because remember, this is part of what challenge I told you about earlier. When it unfolds this way, I don't get to make the best ruling I can at the first time. So unfortunately, I'm kind of hamstringed in terms of that, but I do have a mechanism of kind of reconsidering. I want to get it right just like anybody else does.
Your Honor, I learned about it today. Today, dropping jewels was mentioned on redirect. I brought it to the court's attention and the DA's attention even before that. Your Honor.
And that's why I'm not fussing at anybody about it. I'm not, Mr. Steele.
I get to put it into perspective.
Not now.
Oh, Judge, please take a
Not now.
minute break and reconsider, because this is important.
Everything's important, Mr. Steele. Everything.
But good. Then I need to put it in. You told me over and over again, there's a battle of the Titans. You could cross-examine. Well, I'm here.
Okay, you're doing your job.
I want to do this. Every time the state wants to put in something like that last video of Mr. Stevens, I strenuously object. You overrule it and you say you can deal with it on cross. Well, the state's the one who opened the door. I get to go into this. They just mentioned a song and lyrics from the song. They knew what they were doing today. They brought lyrics with them. It was mentioned before Mr. Stevens ever came. They didn't ask you, hey, I'm going to mention lyrics. They just do it. I get to respond. Your Honor, this is critical to me. They are trying to paint Mr. Williams as a person he is not. This is a good man. And I get to show the truth about that song. I didn't introduce the song. I gave it in discovery because I will introduce it later. But now it's right. And if you don't let me do it, jurors form opinions. I know you're instructed, but they form opinions. That's why we confront witnesses immediately.